Welcome back. To get started in Dreamweaver CS4, the first thing you need to do is to define your site. By this, it simply means you are specifying some key information to Dreamweaver that will help it keep your work organized. Now, to define your site, you simply come down to the Site menu at the top of your application and you click on it. Then you see other options such as New Site, Manage Site, Get, Check and the rest. You come down to New Site as you are creating a new site. If you have created some existing site, you come down to Manage Site. In our case, we go to the New Site and we click on it. Now, a site definition wizard appears. What this wizard does is that it guides us through the process of defining our site. At the top here is where you have the name of the site. In our case, let's put Treasureland. Alright. Now, the next thing you need to do is click on the next button. Of course, this part can be ignored. In that, when we get to why it is ignored, I'll make a reference back to this. You click on the next button and you see this page, editing files. It asks you if you want to use a server technology. What is a server technology? Server technologies basically are those technologies that helps you to create database online. In our case, we are not creating a database just yet. If you are creating a database, you come to yes, I want to use a server technology, and there are quite a number of server technologies like MySQL, ASP. When you click here, you see some options. But in our case, we are not creating a server technology just yet. So you click on no and next. It comes down here. Now it asks you where on your computer do you want to store your file. This is actually where your files, where your folder for this particular website will be stored. If you want your folder to be stored in the document, in the My Document of your computer, you simply click next because this is the default place where it stores folder. But if you want to change the location, you click here and locate the new place where you want to store. In our case, we are fine with My Document, and as you can see, it has given the folder our name Treasureland that we specified earlier. You come again to next. It asks you what server on your file, what folder on your server do you want to store your files in. Here you can choose any folder, as that is not very important right now. Let's choose My Document. Next. Here it asks you if you want to enable check-in and check-out. It's okay to leave it at no. Click next, and here it asks you to finally take a look at the summary of what you've registered, and when you've taken a look to see that it's actually correct, you click on done. And that's just it. You have just succeeded in defining your site. If you go to My Document, let us go to My Document and let us see if we actually have that site by the name Treasureland. You can see that this folder is here, Treasureland, ready to take in all our works. So let us close this out. Now that our site has been defined, the next thing we need to do is come to the Create New and click on HTML. That helps us to create, that starts us off at creating a new website. Now you have your first page, but you need to save your first page, because if you do not save your first page, Dreamweaver can be fairly unstable sometimes. It might just go off in the middle of your work, and if you have not saved your page, you will lose all those things that you have been doing. Now to save your first page, you come down to the File menu and go straight down to Save As, and this dialog box shows up. You will discover that at the top right here you have Treasureland. This is because you have defined your site, and it assumes that any work you are doing right now will be saved in that Treasureland folder, and that is why you have the Treasureland over here. Now you come down here to where you have the file name. This is the name of the page. This is different from the name of this Treasureland folder. This is actually the name of the individual page. In designing a website, you have to name your pages individually. Now this is our first page, and in every HTML website, your first page is called your index page. Some people like to call it the home page, but for the purpose of programming you call it the index page, and this is actually the name that the Apache Apache recognizes. As we go along, you understand the meaning of some of these words, Apache, PHP, and all. You will understand the meaning and their uses. Now, to name our first page, you come down here to file name and you type index. Now, index, that is INDEX, index. But you do not leave it there. It has to have an extension. Like we said, we are working with HTML, so our extension is in.html. All your pages that you are saving has to end with .html. If not, if you just save them like that, they will not be saved as a web page. They might be saved as something like a notepad. Now you come down here and click save. After you have saved your page, then you are ready to move on to the next part of the tutorial. Just before we go, when you come up here, you discover that the name of your page has changed to index.html. This is because you have successfully saved your page. So let's move on to the next part. Thank you.